in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you're worried about, well, what if I fuck up and then I can't pay the money back and they're gonna take my $73,000 house and my $6,000 car and they're gonna take, well, your wife's have no fucking jewelry and so you're not rich enough to buy any diamonds. So what am I gonna do? Well, most people live in apartments anyway, so what the fuck are they gonna take away? Nothing. Josh Kim, only collateral was a 15-speed motherfucking bicycle. He was 17 fucking years old. You should fucking be embarrassed. You should fucking kill yourself. Metaphorically speaking, of course, because I would never want anybody to kill themselves. Certainly not here, you cocksuckers. 17 years old. What the fuck, guys, other than jacking off on your computer, what the fuck were you doing at 17? I think some of the 47-year-olds are still jacking off on their computer. You'll be able to invoke change is after I put a bullet in your head and say you're out of the program. I've tried all kinds of different ways, and that's the ultimate hammer, and it works. 1/3 of you within 6 weeks will either have pneumonia, stressed out, can't walk, can't talk, can't get out of bed, because you've never been under stress. We had a guy, a Naval Academy graduate. His kidneys shut down. His liver shut down. He was in intensive care. He came that close to death. He wanted success so bad. And he was 235 pounds of twisted steel and panther piss. And his body collapsed under him. So how are you going to do? Not as well. His son's not here. He must have died in the night. Well, one less. Fuck him. That's good. Now, all these guys that have six-packs, I don't like to tell you, aren't tough. 8-packs, 6-packs, 4, 5, 6, 7% body fat, you can wipe your ass with. There's no correlation whatsoever with success and what I just described. Zero. In fact, there's an inverse correlation because you spend all your time trying to get it. Well, you don't have to worry about six-pack, chubby. I mean, you spend all your time trying to get a six-pack instead of working. We all know that's true. We're gonna show you some weekly reports. Guys spent 20 hours a week fresh air walking. And you wonder why I wasn't more successful. 75% of the questions, if you took 10 minutes on my website, you could answer. Maybe not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes. All you have to do is hit danpena.co.uk, click one button, and the question's answered. If you ask me a fucking question that you should have known the answer because you should have read the material, I gave you a lot of shit to read. Half of you didn't even read any of it. I will rip your motherfucking head off and shit down your neck on public television. I will embarrass you. I will make you look like dog shit. I'm not here to waste my time, and stupid questions waste their time. I won't allow it. No matter what question you ask him, it's the same fucking answer. Now, when you get your templates, you're gonna think, oh shit, there's only 6 answers here. No matter what they ask you, we only have 6 possible answers. No matter what time it is, answer number 2. Will this project, could it ever lose money? Answer number 5. You only have to learn between 25 and 30 phrases to be a billionaire. 30 if you're stupid, 25 if you're reasonably smart. So we'll say 30 for this group. When I tell you, I know it's still, when I look at your faces, you don't believe you don't have to know anything. You don't believe it in your heart. I know you don't. I can see it in your eyes. You don't have to know anything. That's why it's harder for engineers, because they want to know. They want to know why the bridge won't fall down. You don't have to know. One of the biggest challenges you're going to have when you go home, because this is like a perfect environment. This is like a scientific experiment where everything is in the right place. When you go home and you start implementing this stuff and executing it, it's going to be a different world. But some of you, I'm going to have to chop your head off for you to succeed. I can just see you running around with no head. QLA worked then, QLA works now. You may say 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, QLA didn't work. But in your heart, you know you didn't work. The will or the desire to want to succeed is there, but the will and desire to want to succeed easily is stronger than just the plain the will and desire. The spirit is willing and the flesh is weak. It's like you want to lose weight and every once in a while a pill comes out, right? That you can lose weight without really working too hard. When I read the YouTube comments, it's a personification of they want it easy. And that's why it's even easier for us, because there's even less competition. Because when 99% of the people want it easy, and by definition, this is not the easy program. I mean, you're gonna fill your pockets full of money like you couldn't imagine. Whenever I look at YouTube, I think, the kids, I don't know what they're, and I say sarcastically, I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. If it's not addictive, give me some of the shit, But they delude themselves, it's unbelievable. But that shows insecurity. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a load of shite. A stiff drink and a good fuck could kill you all. Ask your wives, your girlfriends, and or your mistresses if you got any. I'm gonna say it again slowly. If you don't think you can fuck all night, you cannot fuck all night. If you don't think you're gonna change the world, guess what? You're not gonna change the world. Never, you just won't. If you think you're gonna make $1 million, I guarantee you're not gonna make 5 million. If you think you're gonna make 10 million, I guarantee you're not gonna make a fucking 100 million. If you think you're gonna make 100 million, I guarantee fucking you're not gonna make $1 billion. We do not exceed our most wild expectations. That'd be tough for you. If I made $1 million, I spend $1,250,000. If I made 10 million, I spent 12.5 million. If I made 100 million, I spent 125 million. And why did I do that? Because I didn't want any plan B. I wanted no backstop. But when I look at you and your efforts to be, they call it a better person. You don't say all you can be, you say a better person. At least 3 or 4 of you that I've had private time with so far say, I'm working on that. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. And how long does it take you to work on something to make a change? Change is tough. People talk about change, but nobody wants to make change. You pretend by listening to and all the stuff that we've talked about, but how much does it take when you're working on yourself to make those changes? If you had a kid, and I put a gun to the kid's head and said, you're making the change in 24 hours, almost every single person that's ever come through the seminar could make the change. Because there was a pay price to action that they weren't willing to take, namely blowing the little shithead's head off. Even though most of the little shitheads ought to be fucking dead, and most of the little shitheads should have never been fucking born, and dribbled down your fucking mama's thigh. Or your thigh if you're a female and you got kids. If you're worth a shit, you can get a job in 24 hours. But down deep inside, you know you're not worth a shit. So that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Not only aren't you worth a shit, and you should have rolled down your mama's fat fucking leg instead of being conceived, you got a backup plan for not being worth a shit. Part of being a pleaser is giving tacit approval. Tacit approval is, you and I talk, you know I'm talking bullshit. Okay, you know that I'm wacko, but you don't say anything to me. You just listen. You might even shake your head like this, not on purpose, but just like this. So you're giving me tacit approval by not speaking up. So then you go to the next guy and you say, and I tell the next guy, well, I was talking to so-and-so, and he agreed with me. And by the time it gets around the room, Dan said this, and I didn't say anything. And your whole lives have been based on tacit approval because you don't want to be confrontational. Now, to me, telling a guy or a gal they're full of shit is not confrontational. To the rest of the world, it is. Pleasing and giving tacit approval is why you're, for the most part, here. I go over and choke you to see if you can get ruthless out of you. When you're the only warrior on the battlefield, it gets tiring. And that's why it's so hard to stay the course. Now, let's just project 25 acquisitions for you. You're on number 26. It's a motherfucker to stay focused. You've done it 25 times. That's when you get sloppy and you make mistakes because default's a bitch. What are the takeaways about Mr. Jobs? Other than he's an asshole. And I don't like to talk about guys that are dead in a bad way. But all these people that we're studying here, you got to talk about them in a bad way because they were bad guys. Because all the people we're going to talk about this week talk exactly like I do, off camera. Elon Musk's favorite word is fuck. He gets it 3 or 4 or 5 times in every sentence he speaks. My favorite word is cunt. They're all alike. They don't send flowers at Christmas. They're all assholes. It's quite remarkable, the people that I've been privileged, and I call it, it's a privilege to be around a number of those guys, and they're 98% all the same. All of them are workaholics. Savage. They never say they're sorry, which is the biggest. If you cut that word out of your vocabulary, not if, when you cut that fucking word out of your vocabulary, you will grow 50% as a human being. Because first you cut the word out, the actual action. Then over time, you cut the feeling out. The people that are sorry are fucking pleasers. When do you see a head of state say he's sorry? When? You don't. Then why do you say you're sorry? You've been taught. You've heard your parents say they're sorry. There's no such thing as work-life balance. None! Hey cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button. The difference between what I coach, teach, mentor, whatever, is I demand you to do it or I throw you out. I demand. I keep you to a timetable for every hour that you're awake. Every fucking hour. Most of you in this room waste at least 60% of your days. At least. Some of you waste 80%. Some of you waste 90%. Nobody holds you accountable. Nobody. I hear that even universities don't hold people accountable now. They've got wishy-washy policies. Well, you can come to class or not come to class, cha-cha-cha. You can turn in the paper or not turn in the paper, cha-cha-cha. I taught honors at the university. I got to explain about 1994, 1995. We had 330 people participated in a contest to be in my honors class. First day of class, 317 people. End of the year, 13 people. 300 went bye-bye because you had to come to class. I had pop quizzes. I had homework. I had 3 papers. If I thought the kids were snowflakes in 1994 and 1995, those were superheroes compared to today. Just imagine, pop quizzes, 3 papers, and I forgot the project. But the 13 that graduated and the 13 that wound up at the end, last man standing, all thought they were going to get A's. Were they surprised? Because they made it through the gauntlet. We gave 1 A and the rest B's. 1 A and the rest B's. And I've been told in later years, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have stayed in the class. I would have gotten out.